This week in comic books and DC, we get introduced to a brand new original character, Quiz. It's kind of like the Riddler, but it's Quiz. Over in the land of Marvel, I just want to say thank you. What a great way to end a series and launch another one all in the same book. Congratulations. And it was actually good. Thick. It was a thick book, but I thoroughly enjoyed that. And in the land of independence, Berserker. This book is a lot more in-depth than we're giving it credit for. Like, it's easy to look at all the slashing and hacking, but we're getting little nuances here and there that I just can't help but point out. Let's roll the intro. What's going on, you wonderful weirdos? I'm Bocan Joe, and as always, you're super cool for swinging by. So a lot of good books this week. We're going to run through these because I got another video I got to get out today. We'll talk about that at the end, and updates, and a special thank you as well. So let's dive right into it with DC this week. First thing we picked up was the Fortnite, right? 0 Point. This is okay. Like, now we're getting in away from the Fortnite stuff, and we're kind of getting into like what comic books do, right? Kind of give us an explanation how Fortnite works, or at least its mythical realm, if you will. There's like this crystal tower thing, and then they say a bunch of science woo-woo stuff like your emotional frequency vibrations. I don't know what that means. That's a bunch of word salad, but it makes sense inside of a comic book. And guess what? Deathstroke, he's a bad guy. Like, he double-crossed the entire team. He's the secret agent all along. Right? A little predictable, but it's still fun. But now the question is how everybody else is back in their universe, wherever that may be. And unfortunately, Catwoman and Batman, they're stuck here because Deathstroke screwed them over. So now they got to figure out how to get home. We still don't know who's actually running this island or what it's all about. My speculation is that that's what's going to happen in the next issue, because this is almost done, because this is issue 5. So this should be done any minute now. So we'll definitely see that. And my nephew gets the codes for this, because you get something from Fortnite. He hasn't told me what it is yet, but apparently he's super excited about it because he heard rumors. Something major. I don't know. All right. Moving on, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. So this is narrated by a character. It's telling a story in the past, right? She's narration, a memory, if you will, about her encounter with Superwoman. Superwoman is on this, or Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Well, that's weird. I don't know why that's the title. You would think there would be an editor that would catch that. That's not good. Anyway, so Supergirl is on this particular planet, and she's only there because it has a red sun, which means it weakens, right, the people from Krypton. And she's 21 years old. We get told that twice for some reason. And so she's just there to drink, right? Because if it weakens her, she can now get drunk, right? Ha, we get what you went there. And it's her birthday. We keep being told that. So I'm going to keep telling you that to see how annoying that is. All in all, this little girl, some guy killed her father. She's all pissed off about it, and rightfully so. She tries to hire somebody to kill. Come to find out, the first bounty hunter guy really does work for the villain. Supergirl meets him in a bar. She doesn't really want to help this kid by killing the bad guy, because that's not her thing. However, bad guy sees them, loads them up with arrows, or Supergirl up with arrows, and steals her shit. Now, you would think more would be going on in the story if you just kind of thumb through it like this, because there's a lot of narration in here. And it's like, and it's done in sort of a Shakespearean type vernacular, I think is the best way to put it. Not that they use like heavy words, but the dialogue is very similar to that. So, it's King, right? So King's got to be big brain. So He's going to talk you to death. I didn't much care for this book. I will pick up the next couple of issues of it, though, because DC's been telling some great stories lately, and I can't just, hang it up on issue 1 for them, right? I got to keep, even if it is King. All right. Legends of the Dark Knight. So this is fun. So Batman battles. First, there's a gas in the last issue, right? It's a super deadly gas. right? And him and Joker get infected by this. So what happens? They escape, of course, and then the question comes: do I save the Joker? Do I not save the Joker? What would my daddy do? He was a doctor. He thought all life was precious. Whatever that argument looks like, he does that, and then the Joker kind of makes him regret it verbally, like just kind of showing it as a weakness, right? If it is or if it isn't, it's not my problem. So we get off the garbage barge where they ended up saving the Joker. And then immediately, boom, there's a riddle. And it looks rushed. And it doesn't look right. And blah, blah, blah. It sounds like it's the Riddler, but it's not. And we get there, and it's not the Riddler. It's Quiz. Now, let me show you Quiz. That's what Quiz looks like. It's like the emo girl going trick-or-treating as the Riddler. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know. But she doesn't do riddles. She does pop quizzes. Pop quizzes. Saucy. I don't know. I'll keep reading it just because it makes me laugh. And that's all I got in DC this week. So let's jump into Marvel. Oh, Lordy. Did you read this? Did you catch, if you haven't read this yet, I really don't want to spoil it for you, but we know that there's going to be another Venom. But who is Venom? Well, I'll put it this way. All you cats that sold your Venom number 9s, right, on eBay, and you got some ridiculous small price for it, like 25, maybe $50 for it, you're going to start regretting that real soon. I can't help myself. Dylan Brock is now Venom, and he gets to use chains, and he mentions the comic books in it. But the significance of this book is, one, Venom's pretty much, or Eddie Brock is pretty much a god now. We have Flash Thompson now, who has to deal with the realities of life as they come back and his place in it, and even to some degree some form of racism that's happening at the time against symbiotes. And then, of course, we get Dylan Brock, who's fresh and young, getting into life. And this is the 3 stages of life, right? We got an old man, wise in his years. I love the dialogue in here about omnipresent versus omniscient. Say that word. I'm slurring today. I don't know why. I haven't had a drink. Regardless, there's great dialogue in here between him and Spider-Man, which is something they've done in the past. But we kind of have this, the end of one's life, older, wiser, and then we kind of get this middle, aged type of thing. You think of it as your 30s, late 20s, 30s, right around that, and then we get like a teenage kid, right? 3 stages of life, and we get that 3 stories of them in here, and their kind of launch into normalcy, I think, is what their version of what normal would be. So I know the comments are, what's normal? So just think of it this way, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Minus that very top thing, right? Because that's a very few people actually get there, right? You can look that up online, but that would be normacy, right? And this is how these 3 people are kind of searching or what their new normal is. And I really like that kind of storytelling. I think it's very inventive, it's very smart, and I'm actually excited about when Venom relaunches with Dylan Brock as Venom. Moving on, Weapon X Final Flight. So this is part of that Reborn series there. This is Wolverine and a bunch of Canadians, apparently Squadron Supreme, right? Because there are hero/bad guys in this. The U.S. took over like a major portion of Canada. I want to say it sounds like wherever the most natural resources are. I believe that would be Alberta and someplace else, right? So it's oil and lumber pretty much. So the U.S. took this from Canada, and Alpha Flight here is not very happy about that. So they battle Squadron Supreme. They almost killed Hyperion at one point. But the significance of this particular book isn't really in the main storyline. This was just kind of tell you how jacked up everything is in this reality. That's a good way to put it. Everything was jacked up. And I would definitely read this one before you jumped into the other ones, because that would be the next book. So here is Reborn, our mainline story in here. That's a great segue. I need to do that more often. Kind of is the culmination of all the singular stories being brought into here. They're referenced slightly and become important to the narrative as it moves forward. But what we ultimately find out, and I guessed it, Mephisto has a lot to do with what's going on in this. Not only that, but so does Phil Coulson, the President of the United States, or Phil Coulson from the movies, as you know, same guy. There's a MacGuffin cube, if you will, right? It's not the Infinity Stones or anything like that. It's this particular stone that's kind of changed this reality, and apparently he can reset it anytime he wants. So I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was interesting. And of course, our bad guys, good guys, and then our bad guys, good guys, they finally are meeting up. This is the big standoff, right? Avengers Assemble. They're going to meet up and they're going to battle it out. So I'm kind of excited about that. And of course, there's a reference in here to Civil War, that whole series, and also some DC comics as well. Again, I don't know how they're getting away with that, and there's not a lawsuit out there. Regardless. All right, moving on. Fantastic Four, issue number 33. If you haven't been reading this, especially the last, I would say 3 to 4 issues, you're missing out. This has been great, and this is even better. And here's Zora, kind of Doctor Doom's right-hand woman, right? Lady Victorious, she's the champion of the nation. He wants to marry her to kind of solidify the country, yada, yada, yada. Probably there's some feels there, too, right? Dr. Doom's not a total robot. There's some feels there. Well, she decides to tell Dr. Doom at the altar with Reed Richards, Johnny Storm, Sue Storm, everybody there, all of Namor's there. Like, the wedding just has everybody. If you're a royalty and a superhero, you are there, right? She decides to tell Dr. Doom, yeah, I slept with the Human Torch over there. I wonder if she pees if it burns when she pees. Human Torch. Anyway, and mind you, Johnny Storm cheated on his Sky chick, right? Her name's Sky. Apparently she wants to go back home or whatever because the soul bands aren't, a thing. Whatever. So that happens. And there's this one scene here, I absolutely just thought it was hilarious. It almost seemed like something I would do. Namor, when she tells him, the moment she tells him, Namor starts busting out laughing while everybody else is in shock. And I was like, I could see me doing that. Of course, battle emerges. Dr. Doom is ready for it. And apparently there's going to be, all hell's broken loose. So this has been a fun read. I'm enjoying that storyline very, very much. It's really great. Aliens. We're still going down this road, right? My only complaint about this book is this shouldn't be a comic book. It should be a graphic novel because you get scenes of dark dread and battle, right? Scenes of dark dread and battle each issue, and it seems like that's just stretching out, and it's kind of. But if it was all clumped together and you just right through it, right, it would be better. But that's pretty much what's happening here. Our antagonist finds his son Danny in here. He's got a face hugger on his face, right? He's trying to get his kid to some place because he's got to bring a face hugger back of some sort, a gestation or something, something from the alien before they blow up the spaceship thing, right? Regardless. But it's on his kid's face and they're trying to get it back. There's an annoying woman in here that's always like, you need to... And everybody's like, shut up. This is annoying. There's a character in here that reminds me so much of Bill Paxton's character in the movie Alien that it's uncanny. Like, you can't help but read this and hear that dude's voice. Come on, man. Come on. It's not supposed to be like this. Like, it sounds like that guy. It's great. I have been enjoying this. This is great, but I really wish I just held off and just got the graphic novel after it was said and done. But that's all that really happened there. Next, Berserker. So, as I said in the intro, I think this book's a lot deeper than we're not giving its full credit. Yes, it's slash, it's gore, it's bodies, parts flying everywhere. It is that. But we're kind of getting an insight of here about his upbringing. Once his father realized what he was able to do and how much he is kind of just skilled at killing with his strength and everything else, his dad starts trotting him around to all the villages that he thinks are a threat, right? That's going to turn into something later, I'm sure, to kill everybody. And then we start finding out that this whole ravenous rage thing that runs through him is more than what is expected. Like, it's part of his being. It's not a choice for him. To the point where he killed a village of women and children and killed 4 of his teammates on a current mission as well because they stood too close. That's kind of crazy. Last but not least on my comic book list, very rarely do I get these kind of comic books. This is from Scout Comics, which is very rare for my comic book shop to have any of these by the time I get there. So I was kind of excited to get this. I didn't even bother flipping through it. I just grabbed it because first off, that cover is kind of sweet. I'm digging that. Right? We got Goth Girl and the lead singer from Flock of Seagulls. Right? They're superheroes. It basically takes place in the 1800s. And these two apparently are traveling the West for some odd reason. And basically there's this town, right? And then there's a bad guy and he likes to kill like half the town so he can run it, right? He kills everybody, but apparently the bartender goes, who's going to pour the drinks, right? That joke gets made. These two show up and they're thirsty, or at least he's thirsty. We don't know what her deal is yet. Apparently she's just a badass that rides a skeleton horse. Like it's like a skeleton. It is what it is. It comes when she calls. All right. Bad guy sees these two in there. He gets annoyed because they're disrespecting them, right? He thinks he's, the king or whatever, the mayor. Mayor was a big deal, apparently. You can wait. That's a big deal. So, basically they come in there and they try to kill the guy because he's kind of dainty, right? He's dainty. He speaks daintily in here. They shoot him. It's not a big deal to her. Next thing you know, all hell breaks loose. She's killing this guy. The guy's drinking the blood of everybody in the place. It's destroyed. They look at the bartender and they say, congratulations, you're the mayor now. And then they ride off into the night. Not the sunset, just the middle of the night. Not really a whole lot. Can't even really give it a review. I would probably read some more of this. My only thing is, and this is where it killed me, right? You got this really cool cover. Camera doesn't really do it much justice, right? But look at the difference here. And then you kind of get this digital stuff on the inside. And I was like, I don't know. So that one's up in the air. So what's going on? First off, very special thank you for all of you that participated in the online auction that I have. Postnet's got all your stuff, and they're going to be contacting you, and it's going to be sent out the way that you want to have it sent to you, and that won't be a problem. So thank you very much for that. The proceeds to this auction, I need a better standing belt grinder, and my wife won't let me buy one. So I'm using the funds for that. Also, I will be on the road Friday. I have to deliver a package to North Carolina. Yes, I'm the special project of encasing something. I'm taking it to having it delivered. I don't know if they would even deliver it because there's like sticky glue stuff still on it. And they were like, it's going to cost X amount of dollars because the thing's heavy. And I was just like, you know what? It's right over, North Carolina's right there. So I'll just drive it down, stay the night, and come back up the next day. That would be fun. So I look forward to that. And also, I have an unboxing video. I actually did a mystery box from Torpedo Comics. They had a giveaway slab of Thor #2, the first appearance of Gore, the God Butcher. And I've kind of shifted some of my collecting around because it's getting harder and harder to find things that I want. So I've decided I want first appearance of villains because that's kind of my thing. So I've kind of shifted that, and I never read that, and nor do I intend on reading it. I'm just collecting first appearance of villains. That's niche enough for me to be able to get away with a lot. Just don't tell my wife. All right, guys, I got nothing else. Keep on the lookout for the mystery unboxing video. About 3 boxes. Let's see if we got something. Take care. Bye.